So in these next few examples, we're going to put several of those different properties together. So we want to simplify each of these using no negative exponents. So the first example, 5a to the third power, b to the negative 2 power, a to the 0 power. So the first thing I'm going to do is note that all of these things are multiplied together. So I can deal with them each separately. So I'm going to look right here, and I have a 0 property. So a to the 0 power is 1. So I have times 1, and 5 times a to the third power times b to the negative 2 power. Now I see I have a negative exponent. So this was a 0 property. And now I have a negative exponent. Okay, so a negative exponent, flip it over the fraction bar and drop a negative. Alright, so what I'm going to have then is the 5 times the a cubed, and I'm going to get rid of the 1 because 5 times 1 is 1, over b squared. Okay, so now if I look at that, is there anything else I can do? I can't put the a and the 3 together, or the a and the b together, because they're different bases. They're different letters, so different bases. So my final answer is 5a cubed over b squared. Okay, so for this next one we have 3x squared times y to the 4th divided by 9x cubed times y. So the first thing I'm going to look at is my numbers. I can simplify my numbers. So 3 over 9 simplifies to 1 over 3. So I'm going to start with that. So that's going to give me x squared times y to the 4th over 3x cubed times y. Alright, so now I'm going to look at my x's. Just look at your common bases and then just do what you need to do with each of them. So when I do that, what I need to do is subtract. So I have 1/3 times the x, and since they're division, I'm going to go 2 minus 3, and then times my y, and again I can look at my y the same way, so I'm going to go 4 minus 1. If there's nothing there, it's an implied 1. Okay, so now I simplify this and I get 1/3 times x to the negative 1 times y to the 4 minus 1 is third power. Okay, so now I just put everything together, and it's like saying x over 1 over 1. So since this is a negative exponent, I flip it over the fraction bar, and that's going to give me 1 times y cubed over 3 times x to the first power. And now I have no negative exponents and my numbers are simplified, so my final answer is y cubed over 3x. Final answer. And the last example here, 2ab cubed, all of that cubed, times a to the negative 1. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is putting in my power to get rid of my parentheses. So what that is going to do for me is 2 cubed times a cubed times b cubed cubed, and then times my a to the negative 1. Okay, so now I can do one of two things. I can put my a's together. I'm going to rearrange and put my a's together. So we have 2 cubed times a cubed times a to the negative 1 times b cubed cubed. So when we simplify, we have product of powers. So that's going to give me the 2 cubed times a to the 3 plus a negative 1, which is also going to be times my b cubed cubed. Alright, so here I have 2 cubed times a, 3 minus 1 is 2, times here we can go ahead and do what we need to there, which is multiply. So b to the 3 times 3. And my simplification is going to be 2 cubed, which is 8, times a squared times b to the 9th, because 3 times 3 is 9. Now I just make sure that that is simplified as far as it goes. There's nothing else I can do. There's no negative exponent, so my final answer is 8a squared b to the 9th. And that is your final answer. So those are your notes over a few extra examples when you're putting properties together of your exponents. Go through some practice problems. Make sure you can do the more complex ones and the easier ones, and then you should be ready for your quiz.